everybody, welcome back to Idle Downtime. And first off, on the top left is DX, on the top right is Derek, on the bottom left is the lovely, lovely Colin, in the bottom middle is Mete, and it's dear old me, Maru, in the bottom right. And you all might be thinking, why in the world are you the one doing the introductions? DX is right here. Why are you doing this? And that's because we all talked a bit and decided that we would be switching around the host role a bit to see who does the best, who feels comfortable in it, what works. So here we are right now. So to start things off, anybody has some beginning thoughts, anything to say?
First of all, Happy New Year to the viewers, I would say, since this is the first episode of 2021.
Happy New Year's Day.
明けましておめでとう。
おめでとう。
明けおめ。
Hi.
So, has anything new happened in your life? Derek, for example, I heard you broke your finger.
Yes, I very, very much broke my finger. I was walking up the escalator steps here, and I fell, and instead of my face getting the brunt of it, I put my hand out to avoid that and jammed my pinky in the escalator. And it's been broke for a couple weeks, but I was too afraid to go to the doctors.
Ooh.
And then Kenji-san from Mary Bad Ends Management, he was like, you gotta go. And so did Miho, the idol, because they both saw my finger, and it's like, way bigger than the other pinky, and so like go. And so I finally went. It was actually not too bad. They just took an X-ray and they're like, "Yep, it's broke." And it was funny because the doctor spoke a little bit of English. He looked at the X-ray. He's like, "It's broke." He's like, "Do you need medicine?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." And he's like, they split it up. And he's like, "Okay, bye." I'm like, "Oh, all right, great."
That was rather fast.
I mean, rather fast, but sure, why not? The less time I spend in the hospital, the better. How about you guys? Anything else going on?
Colin?
Colin.
So mundane. Christmas was a month ago, but it feels shorter. But on the other hand, I've just been working, doing regular stuff. Honestly, nothing out of the ordinary other than enjoying snow. The second day, this is the second time that we've had snow in the Netherlands this Christmas winter season period. And it's all in January. After New Year, we had snow for the first time in a long time. I wondered where my car was. I came outside and was like, "Where's my car?" Oh, it's under the snow. And I have a white car, so that's not great. Very surprising. What?
Important thing is, did you make a snowman?
No.
Do you want
to? No, because I was not prepared. I did not have any. I wasn't sorry to get this reference, but I wasn't Bernie. I did not have my mittens on me. I wasn't prepared for that. If I had, I would have totally done it. I think I could make at least a smaller one that would fit on a desk, say. That was enough snow for that. But other than that, nothing. Just regular old me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Well, EX, you got anything?
Well, it's the same old, basically. But I started working out again, basically, since, well, we're in lockdown and you can't go anywhere anyway. And my end goal was a picture I already have on my Instagram, and that's my end goal. I'm not sure if Colin has seen it, but I know for sure that Maria and Derek have seen it, and both of them were a bit shocked, but that's...
Rather shocked. Rather jealous.
But that's my end goal, basically, so I've started working out, and since basically after Christmas immediately started working out, and if I were to give a status update right now, I lost about 5 to 7 kilograms in fat, basically.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, God.
Working in your New Year's revolution. That's good. That's how I like to see it.
It's more like I want to be athletic again, basically. So, and that's
not that you were, Peter Griffin size or anything. But you're doing very good. But
no, but I want that. But let's just say I want my body back, basically. So.
Got stolen. There was a man in a van, and he had candy.
Yeah, for something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Suspicious.
Very suspicious.
And Mete, anything in your life?
No, we're in lockdown. We're in a stricter lockdown than we were because we now have the English virus version in my country. Yay! So now you definitely can't go outside. But we do have snow, so it kind of helps, maybe. And I go to school, so yay.
Yeah.
That's good. You need to
In,
keep it up.
in Estonia, we had snow for like a week and a half, and now it's melting again. But at least we had like a bit of it, and I managed to do a snowman and build a snow fortress for
Ooh,
my little
nice.
sister. So it's been fun.
Cool.
It's been fun. Except when I had to, clean up the snow from the yard.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Suck.
Anyways, on to the topics of today. We've been away for a while, and in the meantime, groups have been active. A lot has happened. The first thing we would like to talk about is over in Thailand, Warota People music video, and it was from the Junkan tournament, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So who would like to start? I think it would be Mette for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could it be?
So I guess I'll just say that I enjoyed the MV, even though I have to admit I was so skeptical after the first teaser because those cat outfits
Yeah.
in the MV had me just being, are they going to walk around in that for concerts? Is that going to be a thing for a long time? I'm not sure what's going on. And then the MV came out and they came out in the actual costumes for the song, which I think look amazing, giving kind of that throwback vibe to, the original beginner MV costume from AKB, the one in the Forbidden MV.
The Forbidden MV, yeah.
Yeah, that one, it kind of has that color choice, and I think it looks really good on them. It's a fun MV, and they kind of went for, our goal here is to make the person watching just forget about the things that are bad and have them laugh. And for me, that worked out really, really well. And also, Milk is so cute. It's just so small. Yeah, it's a cool MV.
Yeah. For me, the MV was like on much of the same opinion as Mette. There is only one thing that bothers me: the makeup. I can't get over it, especially on Milk. She looks like she is what she actually is. She looks like a kid trying for the first time to do makeup and imitate her mom.
Yep.
I agree. Yep.
I can't get over it. The music video is fun, and then I just see Milk, and I'm just like, aww.
Aw, so cute. He's trying. Like, that's cute. It's cute. I agree. It's cute.
Yeah. So who wants to talk next?
I'll go. For me, the video, I really enjoyed it. And the start was interesting with the whole the doll party kind of thing. And then from a sort of vortex kind of style, they came into the video, and then the whole transition was nice. And for me, the costumes not only remind me of the Forbidden video beginner, but also the font they used for BNK48. It really reminded me of the costumes they used at the Batsu Sosenkyo concert in Fukuoka. That same style of costume, and I really liked those costumes back then. And so for BNK to use that costume right now, it was more like that's a really good throwback, and that alone makes the whole video for me, to be quite honest, because they used what I personally consider my favorite costume in the whole AKB48 group. Who's next?
Yeah. So Derek, maybe.
I'll make it quick. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but hearing your guys' reactions makes me really want to watch it. I want to see the cuteness of it. That makes it sound like it's very much an idol video, and if they can get the idol concept right, I'm all for it. So that sounds good. It sounds very adorable. This younger girl, yeah. So we're talking. This is Saigon 48, right?
No,
like
this is
BNK.
BNK.
Or BNK. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry. So, well, but then again, with BNK, like they rarely misstep. I mean, how many times do we sit here and lavish the praises and then some on them? So it also doesn't surprise me that they would understand to put something like, maybe a younger member on, their lack of understanding of makeup, in the MV. That's idol gold. Really, that is. So that's cool. Very cool. I'm kind of excited to watch it.
Oh, there's so many fun moments in there. I just I have so much to just say about the things they put into it, the costume designs, how they put people in that calm room or the boring room. What's that a throwback to? And the cat aliens. There's so much going on. That's so much fun in that video.
Yeah. And
Very cool.
finally, Colin, anything more to say?
Few things. After 10 minutes of rambling. Okay, so I absolutely love it. I think it is really fun. I think they went the comedy approach. With NMB is the original group that is Warota People. They are well known. You know, they are very comedic. They try to emulate this, and it just worked for me. I love it. Actually, I would say it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Just for the sake, I wasn't really sure with this. I wasn't sure how they would do it, but they did it in such a way that worked for me. I think the premise for me, there's still party going on, and these humanoid cat aliens from outer space appear and bring in, the fun, the color back. And I don't like cats, but I do really like this, so that's awesome. It's just very fun, enjoyable. What I also love about the cat alien concept is that, well, not necessarily that, but at the beginning they have this VHS style opening where it's almost like the FBI confiscated this apparent video of aliens. That's what I think. I'm not sure if that was the intent, but that's how I took it. I think the costumes I really like. I like how funny it is. There's some really funny moments that are just a little bit awkward. It's with the center, and suddenly there's this duplicates of her, and it becomes this. I don't know what the word for that is, but it's really funny. And she has this very weird wink at the end that I also really like. It's just funny. My sense of fun. I also like how they incorporated not the greatest effect that I admit, but like that they're small aliens. Where it's just them on a green screen and then they make it smaller. I really like stuff like that. It's very enjoyable. I like the outfits. I love how at the end they're basically at the position. It's like they're holding on. Chaprong is when that's over. Chaprong is like, oh dear God. I feel what's the one other thing? Oh yeah, one thing. There are two things that I will wrap on. I did say that I was initially skeptic with the dancing because it's WWW, but I take it that they're aliens and that's how they dance, so that works for me. And the other thing, there's one thing I would say that I have a con, and it's the reason why I don't give it this a 10 out of 10, is I will admit that the dancing is not as energetic as I would like it to have. Warota People to me is just a very fun, upbeat, very energetic. And if I look at it, I would say it's not quite that. I still like it, but so if someone tells me I think the dancing is not good, they don't put enough energy into it, I would say yeah, I see that too. That's fair. That's the only thing I would say about that. But other than that, I love it. I love it once again. It's just funny, different, weird, but in such a good way. It is their own version of Warota People, different but similar. And it ended up me saying, I think it's great. I love it. I have almost nothing bad to say about it. But maybe that's because it just works for me. That's it.
Like another thing on the topic that me and Mette were talking about was like I mentioned, Milk. She's still very young. What's her height?
Yeah.
Like what's the height gap between her and the second shortest member, like in the Senbatsu? And I think we came out that it's 14 centimeters is the height gap.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
good, actually.
She's like so tiny in the middle of it that it's so adorable.
Yeah, and also in the MV, there's a section where Milk is walking next to Mayu, and Mayu is really tall compared to Milk, so she had to bend down and walk like with her knees bent while they're supposed to walk. So because she was out of frame when she was standing up tall next to Milk.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this was
I
a
think they
great
did
one.
that on purpose.
Yeah.
But funny.
Yeah. And now the next one would be SKE48 River, the third
What?
single, which
This river?
Oh, very cool.
and this
Very
was
cool.
this was what I really wanted to talk about because this River music video is what made me fall in love with them. It's what made me fall in love with the member Mochi. She's my girl now. I love her. Like I've been watching so many of their videos of the performances because Vietnam is actually doing really well with Corona. They have live performances with audience and everything. like incredibly well at dealing with it. I think they
wow.
have like only a few cases every day, like in single digits, and their population is almost 100 million. It's insane how well
Wow.
they are dealing with it.
Vietnam.
Yeah,
Wow, good for them.
like
Yeah, exactly.
it's insane. So like yeah, the girls can like actually go out and meet fans, which is amazing.
Yeah, I can't
And
imagine right now. So.
and the River music video itself, like the Senbatsu was put together on on a show where they like had a competition and like they would get assigned points for things, and in the end the girls got the most points. Like they got to be in the Senbatsu, and the one who got the most points
Okay.
got to be like the censor. And what is actually incredible is I think Nini, she ranked second and she had never been in a Senbatsu before. Like in the main song.
Pretty good. Awesome.
Yeah. So that was amazing for her. And the music video itself, it was like River meets kids camp movie. Like
Yeah.
It's kind of felt like a military drill, to be quite honest, but.
Yeah.
Ooh.
it was like colorful, but it was
Yeah.
also like it has the I would say harshness of the original River music
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, true.
And it was kind of a juxtaposition, like that I'm not sure I really liked, but I really loved how the music video looks expensive. If I'm honest, like it was a well done music video.
I agree.
So anybody else watched it?
Yeah. No, I watched it. I watched it a couple of times actually, and the feeling I got was it wasn't like a kids camp out. It felt more like a jungle survival training for some reason. For me, to be quite honest,
Okay.
with the whole drills in the jungle and such. I had quite a different take if you compare it to you, but I quite enjoyed the video nonetheless. But it was more like it felt River in the sense that it was jungle survival, and River music video tend to be like that. So it's more like I really liked it, and the fact that they went with jungle survival style along with the drills and such. Yeah, it was really enjoyable for me.
Running in the rain, they
Yeah.
were falling down, they were
Exactly.
crawling, and
In the river, in an actual river.
Yeah.
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 And who else?
I've watched it.
Okay.
I liked it. I agree with what Maria said, that it's very competently made. I think that's what they've been doing very good at least from what I remember. I haven't watched SGO in a long time, but I do remember, yeah, there's a good competence there. I think it looks cool. I think everything is done cool on a decent average level, though not quite what I would like. But I can still look at it and be like, yeah, they did a very good job. I like that the set they made. It's not that much of a set, but I do like that it's just a set, obviously. But I really like that kind of stuff. That they made it look like it was outside, but not really. But I do think the idea and the style, it's cool. It's not my thing. I also am not really a fan of rivers. It's not my thing. But I can look at it and be like, yeah, they did a good job. And if they are proud of it, and if they were successful with it at more than 1 million, so that seems good in my opinion. Then that's what matters. I wouldn't say this is bad in any way. I'd say it's good enough. It's competent. The costumes are also solid. It's solid. That's my point.
Okay.
Because I don't have anything particular bad to say about it, other than not my thing. But I can still look at it and be like, good.
That's quite good. Menta, did you watch it?
Yes, I have. And yeah, it's River again, and it's good. It's interesting. I think maybe I wasn't too big on the whole. It wasn't my favorite river of the rivers that are out there, but I enjoyed it. I think it had the cool survival theme, like up against each other, but still helping each other, getting each other through the challenges kind of vibe that you want from a River MV, or that I want from a River MV. And yeah, I think they all looked really cool when they were in formation, doing the river dance and the choreographed parts. I think that looked awesome. Also, they had fire in there, so it was cool.
A spectacle, always.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Derek, or should we move on?
No, I definitely do. So this is where are we at with SKE48 as far as what they've done, what they've accomplished? Can we get like a brief fill in on this?
Sure.
Somebody,
What,
go ahead,
from
Matt.
what I've seen, and I
Or
haven't, I only recently started looking into them, but this is their third single, and they seem to be doing quite well. They had their first theater show recently, which they uploaded onto YouTube as well, and
Oh,
it
nice.
looked like they sold out the tickets that they had, but it wasn't a big venue. It was quite a small venue, I would say, like some kind of a cafe. But the show went down well. It looked like. I'd say they are doing good. Like they have sponsors, they have live performances, and a lot of them. So they are doing good, I would say. They have like TV shows and all that, and it's good.
They have released Koisu the Fortune Cookie as a single and stuff, and they are actually recruiting a second generation.
Oh, nice.
Believe
Hey,
it or not.
great.
Oh, wow. Okay, that
So
quickly.
they're
Fast.
doing that well. And
so
you know,
so that go ahead.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
The second gen is a good thing compared to like it shows things are good, like especially in comparison to the other groups cutting down on members, and they are like, we can actually add to this. We are doing well enough, which I guess can really be said it's because Vietnam has been dealing with Corona extremely well. I guess that it hasn't hit them that bad.
And so this is the third MV, and the first MV was, what was it?
Heavy rotation, I think.
The
yeah,
rotation.
then
So,
Koisu the
yeah,
Fortune Cookie.
And
heavy
never.
rotation. So I think first of all, it's kind of cool, right, to see them go out of order with videos, because River was such a milestone
Yeah.
for AKB. It's basically what put them up into like that next level. They were just indie up to that point and struggling to fill the theater at Akiba apparently. And I think they might embellish that a little bit. I think they weren't as bad as they said. Just if you go back to the Stage 48 forums and you look at all those early days
Yeah,
when
wow.
that one dude documented like he would have to go to Akiba like 4 or 5 in the morning and wait in line to get a ticket for a noon show. So like I don't think they were as bad, but then again that could have been after they started getting massively popular. But my point is that it's interesting that all these sister groups are taking these like massive huge songs and giving it their own take. That being said, my impression of this MV is I thought they did a darn good job. It's like from a film standpoint, the dance stuff, they don't try to do the inside the mouth tee shot, so we're already one up, we're good. They just they have a nice square frame and you could see the girls dancing, and when you have that big of a group, you either get like a bunch of cameras to get real close intercuts, or you can do a straight frame shot. That frame shot works for me because you see just how unbelievably on point these girls are at their choreo. And so that was smart thinking on their half. Coloring, it's very soft palette, which I thought's another good choice. It looks to me like it was shot either on a Sony Red or a Sony A7, so I could be wrong, but like it feels that way. And that's always a good choice, I think, for anything MV related, because it has a soft color palette. I think in terms of the actual content, it's a take on River, and so I guess they weren't trying to reinvent the wheel. So hey, okay, I mean, what it worked before, and we're doing this for a whole new community of people in Vietnam. So let's just do it again and see what they think. Okay, that's fair. I thought the ending was very cool. Like some of the girls are kind of more dolled up, dressed up. Overall, I gotta be honest, I was pretty impressed, especially with the singing. We have another, MNL48 here. I mean, those girls really nailed it, in my opinion, and they did a really good job, in my opinion. But I also feel overall, the best part about this is what you guys just said about they're having like recruits for another generation. They have like handshake events. I mean, how cool is it that this song, which meant so much to so many people here in Japan and really propelled AKB into that next level, is kind of having that same sort of positive effect in Vietnam, a place maybe we wouldn't, as Westerners, maybe think would be like the hub. I don't know. I that's the last thing I like. I was surprised, like Saigon. I was like, Okay, that's cool. But now I that's wrong of me to think that. I should just be like, yo, give it your best. And they sure as heck did. So I gotta be honest. I hope we talk more about Saigon. I kind of want to know more because they were very impressive, I thought. Do you guys
Yeah.
agree, disagree, or
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
And to add, you mentioned dancing, and I would like to add, like, Mochi, who was a frontline member in it, she actually had an injured foot while she was recording it, and like in the behind the scenes, you could see like how like the staff were all around her between shots, like, how are you doing? Like, I think she was really in pain because you
wow?
could see her hand was shaking, like, but she pulled it through the MV to film it, and honestly, I'm so impressed. And about the singing, I really like that they have lower voices. Like, if you
Yes,
compare
Yeah.
the
yeah.
AKB version and their version, you can really hear how low their voices are, and it's such a nice contrast, I would say, because it's
Mm.
always good if there's something different to it.
Well, I think a big characteristic of J Idol is the the helium voices, the super high tune pitched voices, because it's just the nature of Japanese girls in general. I don't often meet a Japanese girl that's like, yo, what's up, how you doing? Like they're all like, very, very like melodic and harmonious, sounding like little robin birds tweeting. So it is. I do agree. I mean, but then I wonder, like, are Vietnamese girls like that? I don't know. I just sound stupid, but I don't know any Vietnamese girls. I hate to say it. Maybe I do, and I don't know. It's not it's not part of the world that I'm particularly and very shamefully not familiar with. I wish I was. I like their food. Like sometimes
Yep.
but I don't even know if that qualifies in America when you go to eat like at the photos and stuff. Are they really Vietnamese? I don't know. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. But I will say this, like they they did something beautiful with something that's so historic, and I think it's a heck of a tribute to both the songwriting of that song, because it's still to this day, I think, a fantastic song. Collins, I feelings notwithstanding, although I respect it, but I will say, I do feel the importance of it, and I don't think any of us can deny that. Was so necessary for AKB survival. It's part of their whole mythos, their whole story of how they went from 7 in the audience to filling out stadiums. River had a large part to do with that, everyone thinks. But translate that now to Vietnam, I just put it in the same sentence after how many years of being fans of AKB and thinking, wow, it reached Vietnam, and Vietnam isn't screwing it up. Like the video's beautiful, and it's respectful, and it's shot good. Also, one other thing, if you guys noticed the close-ups of the girls, they were done right. Like they were framed really good. So whoever was their
Yeah.
camera person went minimal. Minimal is okay. Minimal is not a bad thing with Idol. Especially Japanese Idol. Now, if it was K-pop, I don't know, right, Maria? They'd have to go real big, right? Because that's K-pop style. Just as a side tangent note, Maria, is there any K-pop Idol MVs you can think of that do the minimal thing,
The
or are they all
minimal
big?
thing. Oh
Like
no.
like camera in
Uh,
hand and
oh, of course there are, because there are actually a lot of less popular groups who don't have
that's
the
true.
budget to
Yep.
do it, and they often have one or two sets and like not that much of a camera work, and sometimes they make it work. But
Yeah,
from big groups, I can't really think of that. This
right.
probably has happened, but not that I recall.
Right. Like I think about like Blackpink's Kill This Love, right? I mean, just one scene, the opening scene, that probably costs more money than like 3 of the sister groups' attempts at making MVs combined, because it's they just go all out. But again, in J Idol, it works. You don't need to have the monster Godzilla budget. Like you can have something simple. The point is you tell a good story. You have cute girls on or trying to be cute or quiet or whatever, or not. It's not even necessarily the case. Counterculture Idol these days, the opposite of cute is what's attractive in many cases. But with the AKB family system, I'm just saying all this to say that Saigon got it right. Like I feel with that video, they really got it right, and I hope this channel, I hope we all we can we can start paying attention and directing them. And by the way, anybody watching who's from Vietnam, we're shouting out to you. Give us a shout out here. Like, let us know. Do you support this? Do you like? I mean, I'm sure you're not mad at what we're saying, but I mean, is there anything we should be looking out for? Any members that you guys have more of the inside scoop on that you think we should be paying attention to? This is a time for us, as I think all of us getting into yet another sister group, to sort of get our feelers out to like what's really going down in the land of Vietnam. And kudos to you guys, by the way. Again, very, very, very good, impressive MV. And I'm very happy they put it out. So I look forward to what they're going to do next.
And now that we've had Maru and Derek discuss K-pop differences in K-pop and J-pop for a bit, we are going to move on to Japan, which is the SKE48 music video for Koi Ochi Flag. I hope I pronounced this right, which Senbatsu had all of the members of SKE48, including the Kankyusei, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And what do y'all think? Let's start with maybe Colin this time.
So the 27th single, Jurina Center, her last one. I have a weird opinion with it, but I do like it. I like it. The worst thing I can say about it is that I don't feel like repeating over and over. It's not something I would put on my playlist, but it's something I like. So I find it weird that I don't have that final click that really puts it in for me, and where I'm like, yeah, I dig it, because it's song-wise, I think it's catchy. It lingers in my mind. I didn't forget it when I was done with the MV. Catchy chorus. I like the costumes. Which one do you? Which one?
All of the costumes, basically.
But the main costumes I love. The red and blue one. Those are my colors. So I really love that. And all the other costumes that they use from previous MVs, probably from previous songs. I also like nothing. There are so many costumes. I like them all, but the main one is my favorite. I like the look. It looks great. What I expect from SKE. It's catchy. Jurina is awesome. I should add that. I love everyone is in it. That's the weird thing. It doesn't have that one final reason for me to put it on my playlist, even though I really like it. The worst thing. Oh, I forgot. The worst thing about it, that's something I really don't like, is the break at the 3-minute mark. It just kills it for me. That's the one thing. Though that's not the reason why I don't like it. If you take it out, I still have that same opinion. I don't like that. It just kills the mood for me. I've had this before with other songs. It doesn't fit, in my opinion. I think Jiren is rapping that part. It's just, if you take it out, it wouldn't change a thing. I think it would even be a little bit better. But it's because I just don't like that. It stops everything in its track. It doesn't fit, in my opinion, song-wise, with the rest of the song. I was digging it up until that point, and then I was like, oh no, why are they doing this? Why? With the exception of that, I still like it. I think it's wonderful. It could have been better, Jurina's last song, more memorable, I would say, but as it is, I think it's also pretty good. I like it. It's just not that final thing, but I like it.
How about DX? Any opinions?
For me, I quite enjoyed Ocean of Flag. The song itself, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable, but it was solid, but not necessarily something I would listen on a daily basis, I would say. So it's good, but not good enough to put it on my playlist. For the MV, however, there were so many throwbacks in the MV, like all the different costumes. Some of the costumes I've actually seen live at Matsurena graduation concert as well. And was like, I remember this costume. She was wearing that when she was done with SKE48 back then. And lots of costumes I recognized. And the highlight for the video for me is that it was shot at the Nagoya Dome. In the Nagoya Dome was the last Senbatsu Seikyo in 2018, and it was the highlight for Jirina as well when she won, basically. So, all in all, it was the MV. I really enjoy it. I would watch the MV daily. The song itself I wouldn't watch daily, but the MV I would really listen daily to it. And the final point I would like to make was at the end frame with Jirina and the thank you messages in all the languages, pretty much.
Well, no Dutch. I checked.
Well,
and German, close enough.
Yeah, true. But all the languages with the thank you message. That was the main highlight
nice
for me as well. So all in all, I really enjoyed it. The song I wouldn't listen to it on a daily basis, but the video I would listen. I would watch it daily, basically.
Great. How about Derek? Any opinions?
Yeah, like I was obviously happy because SK members, and you know who that means.
Yep.
So always supporting the TM. But I would say like it was a touching, like fitting, like sort of video, I guess, when you consider Drina, everything that goes into her and stuff. I would like to have seen a little bit more of a personalized video with her, to be honest, like a little something that showed a different side to her, maybe, or just something a little more insightful, because Drina means so much to all of us, to SKE, but I guess they did what they could given the circumstances of everything going on here, and then just in general, like understanding the fandom enough to know that you can put these little Easter eggs in there, like for example filming at that stadium, and people that have been following Drina be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So that was cool. Musically, yeah, it's just another song in this long list of songs that AKBSK, all the girls have kind of had recently, where it's just sort of not necessarily something you're gonna remember or want to listen to repeatedly, perhaps. That's speaking from strictly Western viewpoint of like, it didn't do anything, for me, but it was still emotional. I'm not very big on like grad type songs anyways, because in general they all tend to be sort of the same. But I feel this one was just fun to watch, and again, that the thank yous at the end, it was a nice touch. It was cool. Like, they didn't have to do that. It's nice to have a little bit of the foreign element recognized. It's so often not in the
Exactly.
AKB world, unfortunately. So yeah, it was very beautiful. That's about all I have to say.
Uh,
Come again?
I didn't
You're
hear
on,
you, but I'm.
you're on mute, Marie.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
I take any opinions.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that's been said. I think it's an amazing MV to see Jirina leaving us with that kind of goodbye, even though I'm not that big a fan of the song as of yet, even
Right.
though I've watched it a couple of times. I love the costumes. I love the chance of having her be with the entire group in one big send-off that you can only do with that kind of personality in this type of group. So I'm gonna miss her as an idol.
I can feel that. For me, surprisingly, I disagree with you all. I like the song a lot, actually.
Ah.
The first
Good.
listen, I was the same as you all. I was like, this is okay. Then it was the second. Then I listened to it again and was, oh, it's kind of a bop though. And like after the third listen, I was gone and I had it on loop for a long time. So I guess that just shows like tastes are different. But yeah, and like the thank yous at the end, like this is kind of interesting. I really love that, and I think more groups are starting to do that. But I don't know, because I've seen it done in K-pop like a few times as well recently, including one of my favorite groups did that in one of their music videos. So I really like that. It's like a bit of a touch. It acknowledges you all exist, international fans, and that's really nice. So
Very cool.
we've talked about this music video, and now for something that is something we've needed for a long time. AK Bingo, kind of a comeback. Kind of.
Yes.
Yay!
Woo.
Yes.
This is what me and Meta have been saying for a long time. We've been saying like somebody needs to like poke AKB with a stick or something, like do something. And now they are finally doing something. Is it what we precisely need? No, it's like only 12 members or what? Like it's a limited amount of members in it.
Yeah.
But it is something, which is better than nothing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it has a tie-in, I think, with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
Double.
Their mobile game. Yeah, I haven't played it, so I don't know what it's about. But I do recall reading
I can
that.
tell you about that. The mobile game is kind of like Uno, basically.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, now I get it more. But basically, the 12 most played members, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
they will end up in AK. What was it? Neo? AK Bingo
Yeah.
AK
Neo?
Bingo Neo, yeah.
Something. It's kind of cool. We'll be on TV, so that's interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious what it will be about and how it will be done. I do look forward to it. I agree with Maria. Something is better than nothing. I always say that. I really am curious how they will be doing it. 12 members may be for the better, just to try. Then again, whenever, especially later on, they wouldn't always have everyone in there. But I think a good start. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm happy that they've been doing something and giving a comeback to a show that is so AKB like, and they only have Nemosu. I almost forgot. They have Nemosu, but other than that, no real show. So I think it's a good idea. I'm really curious how it will go, and I really hope that we'll be having a laugh with it.
Any news about the host of the show, though?
I have heard nothing.
No.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I-
Spill your secrets.
I feel like the hosts play a very important role in how AK Bingo will feel and be shaped. And then also not having as many members, I think it could work both ways. It could be a good thing, but I also remember part of the charm of watching those really early episodes of AK Bingo was catching all the idols that are sitting there that weren't being used for whatever, and they're making faces, they're like flashing the cameras with funny things, like they were very much part of the show even without having an active role or voice. So it was also nice to see the groups getting screen time. As an idol, think about it, if you're on national television, even if you're just sitting in the seat, you're still on national television. Like,
Exactly.
that's kind of a big deal in Japan. So just to have that call in would be amazing. And plus, you never know if you're going to get called, or if a member gets hypnotized and runs around the room with like a giant lizard in their hands, and corners you, and then you're all of a sudden you're getting licked by a lizard, and that becomes a social media meme. I mean, all it takes is one thing. I mean, look at what happened with Rena with the Ayn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Had she not been on AK Bingo and been in that back seat, who knows? So I think that's even something as simple as deciding the number of members. I'm curious to see how and why, but it's really also going to be hugely dependent on the host. So
true.
we'll see what they do for that. Hopefully they bring back the
Again,
bad boys. That'd be cool.
I want to say against you is like, back then it could work because they had those main girls who could kind of like have like a bit of spillover attention to the less known girls.
Yeah.
But at the moment they don't really have even the main girls anymore.
Yeah.
So
Very
they
true.
first, to have that, they need to establish the main girls so they can bring attention to the smaller girls as well, I'd say.
Maybe that's the idea with the thing with the 12 members that via the game. Maybe that's the reason why they would do that, to see who are the 12 main girls, so to say. But
yeah,
we'll see. But I agree.
I mean, I think there's two approaches to that. One is like that's a good strategy if there's a long game here. Like like no pun intended there. Like if they have like a long-term plan, like this is season 1, we'll fish it, we'll see how it goes. 12 members means less money, we got to pay them, or or maybe it's just less work because we don't know how it's going to do. Okay, hedging your bets, that's okay. I'm all for it. And then you bring back everybody. That's one way. The other way is if they could have like even extraneous members. I know, again, just from being as an Idol fan back then, watching AK Bingo in its early days, I always did enjoy just kind of watching random girls. I didn't know anybody when I first watched. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was still fun to have girls my eyes can look for and pick out. And then I got real excited when somebody I like, for example, got picked out of the third row, the lesser desirable row, as the what you call it, Yamamoto. Was it Yamamoto was talking about? Remember that one episode when they came on, the new host that
yeah.
Yeah, and like remember he was like switching them all around based on his likes.
Exactly.
And,
Yep.
So I mean, you could also look at it like having that already established right away could be important also for going long term. But we'll see. I mean, whatever, it's coming back. That's at the end of the day, that's what matters. Like that's amazing. I hope they bring all the stuff back. Like dodgeball, like the Michibirdie dodgeball, or Shogi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's hope they go
yes.
old school. That'll be really fun. So we'll see.
Now, DX, what do you have to say?
For me, it's if it's going to be like an established program like in the past, I would say I'm all for it. But for now, I think it's only they're just treading the water for a bit, I would say. So with 12 members. But it also is going to depend on what the content of the show is going to be. Is it because later AKB episodes were really talk heavy, like members talking about anything that happened. But if they can make the correct mix between variety games and talk parts, I think it can be resurrected basically in a good way. But it all depends on how the content is going to be.
And the host.
So, if
Agreed, yeah.
for me personally,
Yeah.
I really like the variety variety games kind of stuff like Michaburi Dodgeball and Shoji Kishogi.
Yeah.
I had the most fun with those. So if they can incorporate it in such a way that it can be balanced with talk heavy based shows, I would say it can be quite a bit of golden combination. But for now, I'm a bit on the fence. But I hope it's going to be long term, basically. But
Yeah.
for now, we'll see. And for now, I'm all for it at the moment.
Well,
There is
oh, sorry, go ahead.
there is optimism, but there is no faith for the company because they've
Yeah.
let us down so much.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's like we want it to go well, but it's hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but I think what's interesting is even if they have one successful episode, that could be such a huge thing for the AKB community. That's basically we're thriving on scraps of whatever we can find online of the girls. I remember, like just the sub community, the subtitle community, it had a life of its own, a system of its own when AKB at one point had like all those shows. And like, I remember we were always looking for those shows. We were always like, oh, did you watch this? Did you watch? And like, there's just this whole world of downloading and like the sub people again. And it's because of somebody taking the time to sub an AK Bingo video, I became an Idol fan. So, had that person not done that, and the particular person I remember watching his subs, he subbed everything of the AKB in the early days, put it all on Daily Motion. That's where you could watch it.
Yep.
It was amazing. It was so much fun to discover like, oh, there's like 100 videos. My God. And think about it, this guy had to sit there. They subbed it all and timed it all. No recognition, no money, nothing. And it's just like, yo, I'm just putting this out there. So if they can start that tradition again, we could get a whole new generation of Idol fans that may have never even heard of Idol, like myself, like yours truly. And you never know what's going to happen with that. So I really am hoping, regardless, that this works,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
no matter what.
Talking about subtitles, this actually reminds me of, I think, SKE48. That's actually, they have subtitles on their documentaries,
Yeah.
on their
Yep.
shows.
Oh.
They post it on YouTube with English subtitles, which was honestly a godsend.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
That's amazing.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
Smart.
yeah, and I think Metka hasn't talked yet, so
Yeah, no, I hope it's going to be the beginning of something new for us fans, even if it's just something small, fun, or I just wanted it to start again. I want to have that feeling
Right?
of
Yeah,
going from
exactly.
week to week. I want it back again.
Uh-huh.
We all do. It
We
was such
all
a
do.
beautiful treasure for all of us AKB fans because that's where we got to know the girls.
Yeah.
That I mean, we would know anything about so many of these girls and their ability to eat cockroaches and things like that if it wasn't for AK Bingo. So
I would like to add one more thing. It's still on TV, which I think is a huge mistake. It should be online because, like, I know, like, this is purely like my experience from K-pop, but it's possible to make so much good content with so little effort. Like a K-pop group NCT, they have 23 members and they turn everything into content. They have one of the members got a puppy. Okay, let's make a video about the members playing with a puppy. That fans love it. Oh, it's known that these members are awkward to eat with each other. Let's make content where they have to interact in awkward situations. Fans love that. And it's just like you should make it easy, quickly, and it doesn't even have to be expensive. And AKB has that opportunity. They have so many members. Just have them, put in front of the camera, put it on YouTube. It shouldn't be hard, to put it simply.
Okay, that's the better idea. It's just that those are the times. So I hope, but I will see. Sometimes they make one mistake. But it is the better choice.
Something.
I do agree.
Yeah, but at least
Yeah.
we're getting something. Like, we have to hold on to that. We're getting
Yep.
something, which is more than we have gotten in a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, I mean, at this point, streams, TV, digital holograms projected into our brains, anything works for me at this point. Just thank you, AK Bingo, for coming back. Wish you all the best, and hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about with even one episode. Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows what will arise from that? I like creating that sense of chaos and seeing what comes from it. So, yeah, I'm excited. When's it coming out? What's the official date?
March.
March?
Somewhere in March, I think.
We shall revisit in March then, I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
Very
Or
cool.
when we find out who the members are going to be,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no,
sure, we'll talk about that. Nope.
Yeah. So, for the next topic, and I think this one is something Derek has been itching to talk about this entire time. It is Derek's documentary, which is finally out after so long. We've been hearing about it for what feels like forever, and I'm sure it feels only longer for Derek. And
Twice, yeah.
it's finally out. Who has seen it? Because I sadly haven't been able to buy it, but I got Mete to tell me, like, almost word by word what is happening in there. So, what you're thinking, Derek?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, backing up, I just hook you guys up with free codes. I'm sorry, I've been such a whirlwind. You guys can all watch it. I mean, come on. So that's not even an issue. So afterwards remind me. I'll shoot you guys the codes. But yeah, no, well, yeah, I am curious who has watched it. Meta.
I watched it for a bit. But not in depth
I watched
yet.
it all.
Oh,
Okay.
Meta, go for it.
What? No, I just watched it. I don't have to start. Derek has to start. He has to tell about it. What it's about.
Yeah,
I have already written a thing about it, an essay. Please.
Yes, it was beautiful, and I appreciate it. Thank you. No, I mean, so not all episodes are out. It's only the first two. The reason for that is, again, I'm just going through editing HE double hockey sticks. This should have been done so long ago. I had to basically get rid of my old editor and get a new editor. I sat down with this girl. She works at a video editing company here in Japan. I'm like, well, I'm going to have to pay a lot of money. But it turned out initially she was like, no, I can get all this done. Because the only thing that was left at this point, the reason why I made the announcement to put this all out, we just needed to get the subtitles timed correctly, and we needed the subtitles to also be reviewed, and then the background music synced in. So those two things I didn't feel were like gigantic tasks by any means. I couldn't have been further wrong if I tried, because what happened was my old editor didn't do an enormous amount of other things that I was under the impression did, because we talked about it. There was no issue of him not knowing that he had to do those things. He just didn't do it. So, my new editor became overwhelmed instantly and was like, how can I do all this? And I mean, to her credit, like, in a week, she's gotten done more than what my old editor took 6 months to do, in terms of like trying to get stuff organized, trying to figure stuff out. I've been going back and forth with her. Sometimes in a day, I will watch one of those episodes 4 times just to get one little period in the right place. So we've been struggling with a lot of those things. But the main thing is like, the one thing that, I mean, I have a critique on my own thing is, the subs fly pretty fast. Like, you have to be a pretty fast English reader. I didn't want that. But 2 things to that. One, there was so much information being put out there. I'm trying to sub whole conversations. People talk really fast in this, like, super fast. So it was almost unavoidable. But 2, I would like, it's really hard to get those timings right, where I'm putting an enormous amount of information on the screen, and it's just the way the subs are. Like, you really have to, like, I don't know, the timing thing is an art. It really is. I'll just put it that way. And neither one of my editors, I think, have been doing what they could do with that I wanted. I mean, I've explained many times to both editors, please slow these subs down. Like they're too fast. I can't even read them. And I'm a fast reader. And Matt, we know you're a fast reader because you read all the time. So, if you're having problems, that's an issue. So, that's the only real main thing that people have talked to me about. So I am working on fixing that future episodes going forward, just to let you guys know. I can only tell my editor so many times, and it's really up to them. But we are working on that. The thing is, though, is like I mean, on the technical level, this is 1080p instead of 4K. 4K to upload. One 4K pro rendered video is like 900 gigabytes. So I don't have my internet here, SoftBank. Like after like 2 gigabytes, it times out. It's like, yep, you're good. We ain't uploading anymore. So I'm like, well, how do I upload this? And like you think, well, go to a public place. They have the same issue. So I was like, well, I'll just release in 1080. Thank God. I mean, it seems to look okay in 1080. I don't have a problem with it. So that's kind of gonna speed up the process for me. I've had a lot of different responses and reviews, but mostly this documentary, it's not a history documentary on Idol. That's the other critique I keep getting is like the first episode, there was a little bit about the history of Idol in the first few minutes, but that was intentional. I'm not trying to give everybody this whole gigantic walkthrough of what Idol is because there's just no way I could do that. That'd be its whole other doc. I was kind of this is a little mini primer because 90% of the people that are going to watch this are probably going to be Idol fans. They already know all this stuff. I didn't want to waste time on that. I wanted to focus on what I felt was the whole point of my doc, which was here's these idols, here's their producers, let's hear what they have to say. Let's watch them in action. And that's what's been really compelling is the feedback on that, because I'm showing you guys things no one's ever recorded before in the idol world. I legit am the first person. Even the Tokyo Idols documentary didn't do what I did. So it's like that's been very rewarding for me to hear that like people are feeling that. I've had a couple of people tell me they've cried watching it, which is great because we haven't even got to the sad episode yet. Like the fourth episode's the heartbreaker. Like wait till you hear what Chihiro has to say about her family and her father. Like I cried watching that, and I've because it's heartbreaking. So I really try to show you more and more as the episodes go on a deeper side of this world, and also try to get different perspectives. The first episode's a little bit about the tradition of Idol, the transient nature of Idol. Second episode's about what is it about? Oh, the creative side. So I have like Hanako-san and Kiss Hug Extreme, groups that are just like way on the cutting edge of Idol. They're almost not even Idol. And then the next episode after that's about otakudom, like the fandom and I did my best to not interview a single fan because I didn't want that. But in a way, I showed you it from everybody else's perspective. The producers, the idols,
Oh, nice.
they have a lot to say about otaku. I have a really good shot of Moe-chan from Kiss Hug with this Japanese fan who's very famous and well known here in Japan. He's a super nice guy, and I'm literally like this. I'm just square frame. It's just total checky time. Again, no one's ever really filmed a checky time like that, and so you just can see the interaction and just how normal it is. And like I'm trying to show you stuff like that. And then like the fourth episode's the work episode. It's basically like I'm showing you what all the massive amount of work that goes into stuff, like preparations, things like that. And then the fifth episode is like the culmination of everything we've been working towards. Like Chihiro in the first episode talks about her birthday live. And so you see that birthday live. I'm going to show you from the morning all the way to its end. And so you're going to see Lily Kaona's like, one man live. And I really filmed the crap out of that. So it's like you get to see these like evolutions of what I filmed. And yeah, I mean, could it be better? Sure. I had a lot more idols in it. There was a lot more footage that I had to cut that I wasn't happy about. My old editor completely left out a part that should have been in the final episode. He refused to put it back in. I don't know what his problem was. He just again, he just completely failed me on that level. So it's not a perfect doc on that side, but so far everybody that's watched has been grateful that they even have this, considering nobody can even come here to Japan, and this is like substituting for Idol.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think that's really working in my advantage. So that's my big thing on that. So right now what I'm feeling. Still working on getting the episodes out. Episode 3 is done. I just got to upload it. And episode 4 is we have to redo a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not hard. It's just time consuming. But the good thing is I have a vision and a path knowing it's done. Like before with my old editor, I didn't know what it was going to be done because he just left me hanging every week. Like I didn't know what's going on. This girl's like, okay, this is my time frame. This is what I'm going to try to do. I have my other job, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And she's been sticking on it. So I have somebody that's at least busting their butt really hard to get this done for me. And you know, it'll be done. I mean, this week it should be completely done. Like if we keep on the time schedule, like it'll be all done and it's just gonna be a matter of me uploading. But everybody seems to keep wanting me to upload one a week. I think that's interesting. It's almost like it's a series or something.
No, you should do it. It's probably on purpose because that way it allows it to gather more attention. Because if you upload it all at once, it's uploaded and done.
Oh yeah.
But if you upload it one at a time, people will like, oh, well, watch this idol documentary. I think more episodes are gonna come out.
Yeah.
And then they are like, oh, more is gonna come out. And then like maybe somebody else discovers it. It gives more time for people to discover it. So I think uploading it like once a week is a very good idea.
It was completely unintentional, but I got to be honest, I'm cool with that. That gives me more time to do what I have to do. So, I mean, I've been having fun with that. I've been having a lot of fun with people anticipating and sending me emails like, when's it coming out? When, like, oh my, like it's a drug or something. I'm like, yes, this is great. But no, I'm really curious to hear the feedback. You know, Matt, and like you're like, I mean, you gave it to me, but like if there's anything or, you know, DX, what you did see. I mean, if there's anything you guys want to say, or if there's any questions you guys have for me about the doc, anything at all, just ask. I'm here.
For me, I only watched it at a glance at the moment, so I didn't go too deep into it yet. But from what I could tell, I have only feeling like this is just the start of something, and I am really curious about what's to come, basically. But it also gave me an idea about new groups to discover, basically, because at the moment I was mostly in the phenomenal and more of the hardstyle, hardcore, dance style of underground idols, basically. Because before Nekoma, I was following Marbles along, but they disbanded after releasing Restart, which was basically a hardstyle type of song, basically, but sang by idols. So I was hoping to see more of that group coming. So I've been on the lookout to discover new groups, and right now I'm following Nekoma and Sumo Momo as well. So it's for me a gateway to discover new underground idols for me. So I'm really looking forward to the next episodes, basically.
Right on, rock on.
I honestly can't wait to watch it either. Like because out of everything that you have said, it does sound extremely interesting because like you really do give like a little peek inside of it. It's like and kind of see a bit of what you see, and that will be really amazing. I really want to see it, truly.
Oh yeah,
really
no,
interesting.
For sure.
And I really enjoy having those moments with the girls you've picked out for the interviews, especially in Ep 1 and Ep 2, the ones I've seen. Seeing the moments where they get to lay out their viewpoint, their story, their journey, and not necessarily the end of it, but how they view the nature of the work they're doing and how they're not being constrained to one single booth that many people want to put those kind of people in. And I think that's super interesting. And hearing from Hanako-san, who I think Hanako-san looks really cool. I'm really scared of her music and her shows.
Yep.
But
yeah. Most people are.
Her duality in your interview and when she's on stage, when she talks about being on stage, that's super interesting. And her interacting with the fans, one of my favorite moments that's just like a cute moment is her with the fan and her teaching him the obaki pose. And him being like, excuse me, cat pose?
I had to tell him, yeah. And what did you think of her when she spit right at my camera and like got me completely soaked? I was just like,
that was scary for me.
I mean, you see everybody laugh. Everybody was laughing because they all looked at me. I have noodles hanging from my cap, and my camera has noodles and rice all over it. And then she just looked right at me. She's like, I got you. Spit banana juice right in my camera. And I'm like, you just busted my camera. But thank God it wasn't. But it was sticky for months.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really cool. And I love, especially, this is something that's nerdy for me, but I love the production part when you're talking to the guy who produces both Nanomora, Pasli-san, and when you're talking to the guy who does Kiss High Extreme.
Oshima-san, yeah.
Yeah. I think those moments, all of those are really interesting to see how they go into writing music, how they go into producing music, choosing costumes for new music. Those kind of things I love watching.
Yeah, like Oshima-san from Kiss Hug is like the super good, like, you know, like bass player. He has his own band. He's a real big guy. He's into prog rock. Like Dream Theaters is like literally his dream group. And so he was like, I'll make an idol group based off prog rock. And like, you know, after conferring with the members of Kiss Hug, they all agreed that's the direction they should go. Now they have really, like, to this day, they have gone so into prog. And what's interesting now is Mary Baden is very intimately connected to Kiss Hug because Hina, our new member, was in Naoko from Kiss Hug's old group. So now, for example, our very next show is a 2-man live with Kiss Hug at Shimokitazawa Shelter, and that's all because of Hina, because Naoko and Hina were very close, and both can speak good English, by the way, or at least they try. So it's just it's a good thing, and I really love Naoko. Like watching her on stage, I was at her debut when Kiss Hug decided to add her into the group this year or last year. And it looked like she had never not been an idol. Like she's just got that real natural thing. And Kiss Hug stuff is not easy. Like I hope when you watch the episode, you could see the choreography. That's not easy. Like they are not an easy group, and everything about them is not easy. Their songs are like 6, 7, 8 minutes long. I mean, they don't care. And to see Naoko integrate, and now we have a good connection. We'll probably play a lot of shows with them. Makes me really happy because Oshima-san is one of the nicest people you can ever hope to meet in the idol world. He's super quiet. Like he doesn't strike up conversation with you, but if you need anything, he's like he can get it for you. I like he's just a cool dude, and like he's like that creative quiet guy in the back. Like he fits the bass player description of a jazz bass player, not a rock and roll metal guy, because rock and roll metal bassists tend to be real crazy. But like he's more the guy in the back that just chills. But yet he made all this beautiful music, and you know what I mean. And then you compare him to like Mishima-san from Lily Kaona, who's real talkative, super friendly, knows everybody. Everybody loves him. His girls, he really gave them a platform to be creative, and he's so creative. So when you watch him creating the song Rust from literally the beginning, wait do you see its debut at the 1-man live, I wanted to follow the journey of a song, of an idol song, and I lucked out as it had it. They were just starting that song when I started to record. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So, and also I've been very, very, very close with Mishima-san for a long time. So I knew he would be okay with like all that. But weirdly enough, I haven't talked to him since the docs come out. I've sent him a couple messages. I haven't heard anything from him. So I don't know what that means. He tends to takes forever to get back to me usually because he's so busy. But I don't know. I gotta ask him like, is everything cool? Because like this is the other thing, the ambiguity of idol. Sometimes it's like I put all this out, but I haven't heard much feedback from the idols that were in it. I mean, Kiss Hug, Moe, of course, like, you know, I mean, she likes everything. She retweets everything. Benny came out right away and just talked about it. Of course, Chihiro doesn't. She loves it. She doesn't care. But like I don't know about anyone else. Like no one else has said it. I haven't talked to Hanako-san in like a long time, so I don't know what's going on with that either. But you know, that's idol. You know, it's just how it
Okay,
goes.
but now
I want to sneak in one
thing
last
we're
thing, Maria. I just want to say I feel very. I chose my favorite in Mary Baden before I saw the doc, and I felt very validated in my choice in Chihiro when I watched it.
Very good.
Ah,
Very
nice.
good. Tell her that. She'll love you. She needs to hear it. She feeds off that. But that's cool. That's very cool. Why is she your favorite?
You've been talking about them, and then I watched videos from the live, and I saw her. You sold a sticker that she designed on Idol Underworld.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought that, and it's on my computer. And
Very cool.
The way kind of person she is the kind of idol I tend to gravitate towards. So
you got to come to Japan and meet her because she's not very popular here. Like it's weird. She's the leader, but she has leaderitis because in the idol world, in the Chica idol world, it tends to be that the leaders are the least popular. Go figure. You know, it's always the other girls, but I don't know.
interestingly enough, this brings a similar parallel to K-pop, I think, because in K-pop that's quite similar quite often. Like the leaders
Interesting.
aren't. I think it may be because like the leaders tend to put the group first. It's like I have to do everything for the group. It's all for the group. While the other members can be more like, hey, me to the front, me to the front. Well, the leader has to be everybody has to get to talk.
Right. Like Takamina from AKB48, like did everything, but never once was the lead, the ace or anything or the center. So go figure,
Thing on the documentary. We've been talking about this for quite a bit now. Where can the viewers find it? Where can they find it? Where can they buy it? Where can they watch it?
Right now, the only place I have it available is Gumroad, Gumroad, and maybe we can put the links in the description
I'll
if
put the
that's
link
cool,
in the
DX.
description. I'll put the link.
Yeah, it's gonna be there for now. I am working on Amazon Prime. It's very complicated, more than I expected. I had initially wanted to go to distribution company. They turned me down. I was really surprised by that because they sure as heck talked up a big game about wanting to do this with me, and then for various reasons that I still don't quite get, they turned it down. So now I have to do it. But the big problem with that was I wanted to upload to 4K, but now I think I'm just going to do 1080 because then I can upload that no problem. The issue with Amazon Prime is I got to go through things like clearances and stuff. A lot of these idols, they don't want to even give me their real names. Like, and it's okay. Like, we don't operate on real names. Like, the only time I've ever seen idols' real names is when I took idols overseas and I had to see their passports because I had to enter that information in English into the passport system. So I know several idols' real names, but that's a very big no. Like, there's even girls in the idol groups that don't even know the idols' real names. Like, you don't. It's like I have to get them to sign a form with their real name. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. So like that's sort of the issue. And then also just Amazon has like a QT check where they go through like a quality check. And like I don't think at this point, I don't know if my doc would quite pass that due to things like that. Like I'm gonna have to really prove that this was all on the up and up. So right now, Gumroad's the easiest because they don't care. They're like, we trust you as an artist. You can upload. If we have an issue, we'll take it down. But if you're an artist, we just know you're going to do your thing. They're really smart about that, and they take very little money. So I felt really comfortable with them. But I am trying to get it out there. Also, you can go to Idol Underworld and order the DVD. Those are going to be shipped out as soon as the episodes are done. If I don't make those episodes 4K, I can get the DVDs all done in a week. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of deciding that or not. And maybe saving 4K for another time. But somebody did recently just tell me about compression with 4K. And I was always under the impression if you compressed 4K it would be bad. But
No, it
he
depends.
swears that, he says it all depends. I didn't even think of that. So if I can compress the 4K files, maybe we can get that, up faster. But that's all technical, boring talk. So it'll be coming out.
It's quite technical.
Just go to Gumroad for now. That's the only place I'm choosing to stream it because you can rent it or download it there. I made it as cheap as I could. And then if you want to buy the actual DVD sets, posters, bromides, all that good stuff, signed stuff, you can still buy signed stuff now. Please go to Idol Underworld and get some of that.
Hear it all, viewers. If you want to see an inside peek into the world of Derek, that is the underground Japanese idols, go check it out. I haven't seen it yet, but I can promise you it's great because Derek really has put his entire heart and soul into it. Like
And blood and sweat.
Like
Definitely. And bank
the
account.
viewers probably who have watched this show consistently probably have some idea about how much, but that's like the first tier of how much, and then there's the second tier that we see, and then there's the third and probably a fourth tier that the people working with Derek and he himself sees. So he's put a lot into it. So please check it out, everybody. And
thank you.
We've been around for quite a bit. We've been feeling this for quite a bit now. So does anybody else have any other topics they want to touch on?
Colin, I know you have one.
Something funny that happened.
Oh, you got trouble with your sound, dude.
You're cutting off.
Sorry, that was me. Request Hour was this weekend, so there was a little bit weird thing. They announced concerts for the end of January. Okay, then they canceled it, and what basically they did was they did it anyway, but at home. A little bit weird. I wanted a concert, but oh well, it at least continued. Jesus, there were so many concerts. I think there were like 8.
Yep.
Teams AKB48, and then 2, so there were 7. First generation and second generation. They basically didn't request our style, but per like 2020, 2013, and 2014, 2015, something like that. Per team, they did those performances, and the members chose the members, or they voted for the songs themselves. Neat idea. That gives a feeling, what the members really like about the songs. And I've only watched from Team B, and from the first generation concert, and it has some very funny moments in it. The one that I already saw on Twitter is Michan dressed as a fish doing a song that was called Legendary Fish or something, translated. That was just really funny. I think she basically bribed everyone, vote for this song, I want to do it. It was hysterical. And there was the only other one that I'll mention is the Jurina and Sakura double center Negai Goto. What they did with that was basically this. Keep a straight face on the camera the entire song, no performance, just straight faced. If you smiled or showed emotion, you lost. I don't know why they did that, but it was very funny. I think Komi and Miyazaki Miho won. Weird, but they really tried to do it something differently, from their home, be as creative as they could. I really liked it, so I hope that it's well enough. They did not announce any new single. I thought they would. I imagined that they would, but handshake, so they don't do it. If they had done a concert about it, I think they would have announced something. But pretty fun. I still need to see the rest, but it's really fun. I'm happy that they did it. I think people should check out at least the team who they like the most. For me, that's Team B.
All I remember from it is Meta spamming me all excited that a song she likes got in.
One of my favorite
Which one?
theater songs won Team B, so Akogare no Popstar.
Yeah, that one won, I think. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really fun.
You don't really hear it performed in concerts, only on stage. So to see members also loving that song was like, oh, yes, someone knows it exists.
Very cool.
And like having members vote definitely adds like a bit of a different dynamic to it, because otherwise fans will vote for a song because member they like is in it or centers it and so on. But this way it's generally is like, oh, they genuinely do like these songs the most.
So only one other thing I quickly want to say. During Christmas, NMB's Yamamoto Ayaka announced graduation. Surprising, but I heard that she wanted to become a nurse. Especially in this, with Corona and all, that's a great idea to do.
That's awesome.
Really, a bit of a shame. I really saw her as the next Gen Ace. I really started to like her more and more. So it's really pity that she announces that she basically is going to retire because she wants to focus on nursing, which is awesome. It is a bit of a pity because NMB has lost so many. I really thought she was the only one who could do it, but someone told me there is so much more with NMB's 8th gen and 9th gen, I think, who said there's so much more potential there. You just haven't checked it out. So I hope that goes well for NMB. Pity for Ayaka, but I think she'll be an awesome nurse. So I can't really argue with it. It's a bit pity, but I hope NMB will become better at it or strengthen themselves because they only got Miru.
Yeah, they're going to Battle Royale at the moment, right? So there's no official.
Oh yes, that's also a thing. You can take over. I've been talking already a bit too much.
No, that's okay. Oh,
Well, no,
Derek.
I just wanted to say one quick question, Colin. Can you imagine like having her as your nurse? Like, can you imagine that hospital, once it's found out, it's gonna have a stream of otaku going there for little tiny cuts, like they have to blow their nose, and they're having. There's gonna be otakus. They're gonna have a bed shortage. I mean, screw Corona. They're gonna have an Ayaka virus problem. Like, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. There's gonna be bulletins. It's gonna be insane.
Just like, oh no, I have a headache. Can you please help me? Maybe a hug room.
Maybe that's that particular hospital,
There's something wrong with my heart. What is it? It's broken because I love you.
Oh my god.
We're in trouble.
Jesus. That was so
mean,
cheesy.
only in Japan would an idol go on the stage and announce something like her future occupation, and then not quite maybe understand the level of otaku obsession and how that's gonna get translated. I guarantee you, she's gonna have a string of otaku in there, and they're gonna act like they're not her fan. And then like she's gonna turn her back when she goes to like get like a band-aid, and she's gonna turn around. There's gonna be a stack of CDs like this big and pens. Like, could you sign this, please?
Flowers.
I'm sick, but you know, is it cool? And somebody's gonna bring a checky camera. Can I get a checky with you? And like, you know, it's gonna be bad. I wish her all the best.
I can see that happening.
Oh wow.
Oh, poor Ayaka.
Poor
That did
Aika,
not
indeed.
like-
She'll be flattered.
Yeah. Well, let's hope she'll be flattered the first week, and
Yeah.
after that, she's gonna be like,
but
oh,
like, oh, I need to help actual people with actual, there's actual things going on.
yeah, like it's she's gonna have to get like real tsundere about it too, and be like, get out of here,
Bodyguard
like,
with
you know.
her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh man.
Too funny.
Okay, anything more to talk about? Or maybe
That NMB
it's
is
been...
doing.
Oh yeah, NMB is... They don't have like teams anymore.
No, not at the
Yeah.
moment.
No.
It's temporarily disbanded.
Yeah, but no. Yeah,
Kinda.
all the regular teams got disbanded, and they basically became A, B, C, D, E, I think.
Yeah, something
And
like that.
it has now become a battle royale until like March, I think, where every individual team has to fight for media appearances and even Senbatsu appearances through theater performances and streaming things. I'm curious how it will go. It's interesting. I think it's good for NMB because of what I just said about Ayaka graduating, but I have no clue. I haven't seen how it's going. But I'm curious how it will go and who will get out of it. Maybe someone completely new for the next song whenever they're going to do that. Maybe we got a new someone to rave about. I don't know. I hope it will go well. It's an interesting idea, but let's see what happens.
And it's what, 7 members per team now?
I want to say 6 and there was one 5, but could have been 7 and there was one 6. There's one short. I do know that, but I don't know exactly how many. 6 or 7, I want to say. That's something.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I think we've been filming for quite a long now, over an hour definitely. So I think we should move on and try to end it. And so, does anybody have any recommendations here? So let's start with DX.
Well, this week's the new MV for Ice One should release, so look forward to that, I think.
Start a dance.
Cool.
And that's it for me.
Well, Derek?
Oh, okay. Yeah, my doc. Yeah, go check it out. Like, that's the only thing on my mind right now. So
Yeah.
please, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out.
Definitely. Colin?
The concerts and Derek's documentary.
Oh, thank you,
Mete?
Colin.
Mete?
Sure. So today BNK released a dance practice for Warota People.
Alright.
And I think they filmed it somewhere near where the theater is, so it's in a theme park, water park kind of thing. It has a cool background. And CGM is starting tomorrow, I think, a new series called Stand By Me. It's on YouTube. And basically it's 2 members video chatting and doing different types of things. So today, Peppo and were switching clothing styles or something, and they gave each other's clothes. Lots of fun moments going on there. And yeah, I don't think anything else except watch Derek's documentary. It's good.
Thank you.
Definitely, Ice One, Start a Dance. The song is being released tomorrow, and the music video on Thursday. So look forward to that. And a member of my all-time favorite K-pop group, EXO, just got discharged from the military today, which has been really hype. And it's just got discharge, which is really, really amazing. And other than that, it really is just Derek's documentary, so
Yay.
sounds good. So I think we're gonna have to end it now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Till next time.